Hi, everybody. Welcome. Good morning. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Who do I have in my house today? Welcome, Heidi, Jen, Patty. How are you? Patty Cat, Tiffany, Gaslit. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Renee, how you doing, love? Shout out to you. Oh my goodness. Didi, welcome. It's a lot going on, right? Many victims will start coming out of the woodworks. Thorn, yeah, I believe it. I believe it. And some of us have been calling this out for quite some time. So that's kind of how I feel as well, right? Like it applies to a lot of us. I hear myself somewhere else. Hold up, y'all. Here it is. Okay. Welcome everybody, y'all. Welcome. Please hit the like, please, and thank you. Jen, welcome. All right. I'm gonna wait a little bit and give the people some time to get in here. Did y'all get notifications? Let me know. Because we're about to go through some stuff that's very, very interesting. Hey Nebby, how you doing? How you doing, Heidi? How you doing? Welcome everybody. I see. Hey Jackie, how are you? Happy Thursday. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're having a great day too. Hey Britt, welcome. Shout out to you. Believe, welcome. Oh, you got your notification? All right. Oh, y'all got notifications. Hey Queen, how are you? Did you guys get notifications? Let me know because sometimes the YouTube doesn't really like me. Thank you, Itzel. Thank you, Fairy. Welcome, Lulu Bug. How are you, love? All right, we y'all got notifications. I'm so happy that I'm hearing this finally. But I got a couple bones to pick with Mr. Shine. We'll talk about Mr. Shine here in a minute. Hey DJ, how are you? You were notified. I'm so glad. All right, Sleuthy Kid, thank you. You got notified? You got notified and notified on Discord. Thank you, Chico. Thank you. YouTube does the same thing for BJ sometimes with the notifications. I know YouTube doesn't really like us sometimes, you know. Actually, I'm lying. Like YouTube will do 3 notifications a day per channel. That's what I've heard. So there's only so many lives and videos that I can upload that people will get notified about. And not everybody gets notified. So yeah. Hey Wim, how are you? Blonde, how are you? Everybody, yes, please, Jackie. Tell them to hit that like button, please, and thank you. Mia Mo, Diddy destroyed your life. Right. Are y'all listening? Let me wake it up a little bit. Hey, Grandma. Hey, Ingrid. How are you, Grandma? All right. Now the people are coming in. Mm-mm-mm. Now that people are coming in, we have to talk about this because let me tell you guys something, all right? Just imagine, okay, pretend this is you, right? That you go to prison for 10 years for a crime that you did not commit. Imagine that, right? Imagine just going to prison for 9 or 10 years for a crime that you did not commit. And imagine that people actually know that you didn't commit this crime and they still sat back and did nothing, said nothing, enjoyed their careers, did what they wanted to do. Can y'all imagine? Imagine that. Do you guys, what would you do if you were in that position where you know you're innocent, you know you didn't do this, and then you got sentenced to 9 or 10 years and then deported? How does that work? How does that work? And then people were still able to move on and build their little careers and steal people's music and run amok on the industry. Just imagine that being you. Some of us, when this hit the news back in 1999, I think I was 8th grade, about to go into middle school. We were very, very, very surprised. Real conspiracy. Well, and that has been the internet conspiracy theory about the situation. But you know what? Some of us knew that there was more to this story than what the people were saying. Okay. I was following this story like very young. I remember this story because back then, you got to think about it this way. JLo had played Selena a couple years, right? Not too very long. And JLo was definitely making the market for the Latino community, right? Finally, Selena was like, big mainstream. People knew about, if they didn't know Selena, they knew Selena because of the Selena movie, right? So for a lot of us, we were like, okay, cool. Like here you have this girl that's playing her. She did a great, I personally think she did a great job. Some of you guys feel like she didn't. Hey, when I think of Selena, the movie, I think of JLo. And I haven't, after that, I really didn't fan out that much. But some of us followed Selena. Some of us did follow, or excuse me, JLo because of her job, her debut after Selena and breaking into the industry. And, it was really nice to see somebody do that. Okay. So she gets with Diddy. And then we start noticing a change in her that maybe was always there, but maybe we just didn't notice. I don't know. But there were so many changes that were happening with JLo at the time, right? The shooting happens. They stayed together. The New York nightclub 1999 shooting happens, right? After that shooting, they were together for about another 2 years, and that was it. They called it quits. JLo's career flourished. She kept doing her. Shyne was sentenced to prison, okay, for what, 9 to 10 years, and then deported to Belize. And Diddy did what Diddy did, which is what he typically had always done. He was always there, right? That's what he did. Well, what was so interesting back then is that the people always felt like this is just a conspiracy theory. This is just a conspiracy theory of what happened, right? Well, Shyne, who became like a political leader in Belize after he was deported, finally speaks out yesterday after Diddy's arrest and basically says what we all knew had happened in 1999 in that nightclub shooting. He basically says, and he said it already before. But the thing is that Shyne not only sat in prison for many, many years, he also partnered up with Diddy later on in his life, right? So let me ask y'all a question. I mean, what would you do? Because even when you listen to him speak out today, which we're about to, it kind of makes me angry in the sense of like, wait a minute, sir, you sat in prison for 9 to 10 years? Went in there for a crime that you didn't commit and you knew you were innocent and you said you were innocent? And now you're saying that Diddy destroyed your life, but that you took assistance from him for the people of Belize? This is one of those like Robin Hood, tales. Like what? I don't know what to make of it. All right. So let me show you. Shyne finally speaks out in a Belize, like Channel 5 News conference. Just listen to what he has to say. This is Shyne for those that don't know. Okay. Shyne was set up to be like the next Biggie because he had the voice. If you listen to Shyne, he had this, swag and style about him. He was definitely set up to be, and he was signed to Bad Boy, right? We've been waiting. And the thing is that this was not a victimless crime. There were many victims. A woman by the name of Natania Reuben was shot in the face. Diddy shot her in the face and nobody believed her. Nobody believed her. 1999 JLo, now allegedly, in my opinion, let me put this shit on over here on the banner right now. Okay. But I feel like it's the damn truth. JLo, this is what Tasha K said. She said, I ain't got it. And everything said is alleged, okay? And based on opinion. So there you go. In my opinion, JLo was holding the gun for Diddy, carrying it to this nightclub, just like Cassie Ventura had to do for Diddy as an intimidation tactic. All right. Cassie spoke about this in the lawsuit that has been settled before Diddy's arrest. Little Rod said that Diddy told him about the nightclub shooting and how JLo was carrying the gun that basically shot Natania in the face. 9 bullet fragments in the face. And this man sat in prison for 9 or 10 years. It's because he did. He did. All right. Knowing the truth, comes out of there deported back to Belize, and becomes a leader in the government and accepts help from Diddy for the people of Belize. I don't know how to feel about this, because in one hand, the man is essentially was set up, and in the other hand, he partnered up with the person that set him up. Does that make sense? Am I allowed to be like upset about this? Because I don't know how to feel about it. I really like it's an injustice, y'all. It's not right. It's not right. It's corrupt. Listen to what he has to say, okay? Just listen.
When I was a 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much.
Who testified against him? Natania Reuben had an interview with News Nation 5 months ago. And she said that JLo lied to the grand jury when all of this was going down. Okay?
Pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. Yes, I forgave, I moved on, but let us not pretend as if I was in Miami for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Well, I saw
and
you
that
spent a birthday with him once.
I
saw a birthday
I
cake.
went again to do a charity event for impoverished youth in London. So let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life and who I forgave and who I moved on, and for the better interest of Belize, because he was in a position at that time to give scholarships and to maybe invest. I would not deny attempting to bring the investment to Belize and to.
What do you make of that? What do you guys make of it? Let me know in the chat. I mean, listen, I hear you, Vicky. Shout out, Vicky's like, listen, I'm not gonna beat this man up. I hear you, but it does feel some type of way. Because in one side, it's like, wait a minute. Shyne, you sat in jail for 9 to 10 years and then got deported, okay? And then you became a leader and did very well, right? But on the other hand, he says, I'm not friends with them, but there was investments and for the better interest of the children of Belize. So how is that any different than Diddy getting the key to the city, which is what we talked about yesterday, y'all? Remember this? Hold up. Where'd it go? Where's my picture? Right here. How is this any different? Do you see what I'm saying? It just doesn't. It don't seem right. It don't seem right. You said I'm saying she's because what she needs when it suit her. You talk about JLo? Let me know, Nikki. Shout out to Simply Nikki. JLo profited so much from this situation, all right? Because the reality is this. Okay, she partnered up with Diddy. She stayed with Diddy after this shooting, I believe, for like another 2 years. And this was the conspiracy theory that was running. And the people here online were like, well, this is just like that's how they would take it. And a lot of us, like maybe I'll speak for myself. I've been waiting for Shyne to say something. And he had been dropping hints throughout. Okay, he said something about 5 or 6 months ago that let me know, oh, we were right on when people were saying that Shyne was innocent and he did not shoot that gun in the face of Natania Reuben's. Okay, poor lady. And not only that, there was 2 people that were injured that night. It was Natania and another person took a payout and went and has never spoken out. Natania is the only one that has been speaking out against this. Simply, Nikki, when it's convenient, right? Like that's when it's convenient. when she speaks out. That's the only time. What did she say in her documentary? If you know, you know. La bodega. Ham and cheese with a roll, a bag of chips. If you know, you know. And let me tell you, you already know. You know how many people came in my chat when I was doing exposing the industry with JLo and all of the marriages that she destroyed and the families that she destroyed in the process because she can, because she was allowed to, because she partnered up with people such as Diddy. And let me tell you, for those that have written articles, for those fan stands that have written articles about the fact that she really tried to stay away from him, fuck that. That's not true. She never tried, even when she was with A-Rod, they were hooking up over here in Las Vegas. Okay. There's pictures of them together. When they did the COVID, what is it, fundraiser that Diddy was running. Hi, papi. How are you, honey? ¿Cómo estás, papi? She's still calling him papi on the damn line. So stop it. This is why I don't believe anything that this woman puts out. Stop it. Anyways, let me play this.
And to bring the contributions to education, to beliefs, but don't distort it as if, he and I were bombale. This is someone that destroyed my life, but do I take any joy or any satisfaction with what he is going through? Absolutely not. I am different than maybe other people. No one needs to fail for me to succeed. No one needs to suffer for me.
In your at the height of your professional relationship, or thereafter through the reconciliation, when he was an instrumental part of promoting you through Revolt Media, were you aware of these freak off events, and were you aware of them? Did you have any participation in them?
Oh my goodness, Jules Vasquez. Jules Vasquez.
Were you aware of them?
Jules Vasquez.
Oh my God.
Were you aware of the freak offs?
So
Like, honestly, like this shit is like, it's like not funny, but it's like, what do you make of this? It's like, it really is not that funny. And I get nervous just even hearing him answer, and I laugh for him because it's like a nervous laugh. You know what I mean? But he's laughing. He's like, are you aware of these freak offs? And it's like, and the more you hear about these freak offs, and a lot of us busted, myself included, right? Who needs this many baby oils? What's going on? And the internet's going crazy. But the reality of the situation is this: we don't know. We don't know what was already said there. It's a valid question. It really is a valid question for him because he's a leader. But you've seen people be taken down for things like this, meeting with, workers, doing all kinds of stuff. So he took the way I understand this, and we're going to go back to this and review it again. Okay. We're going to go back to it and review it again. But the way I understand what Shyne is saying here is that he was not a good person, but that at the end of the day, he took investments from Diddy to help the people of Belize. Am I hearing this correctly? I mean, Eric Adams is being, I don't know the details of this, the investigation with Eric Adams, the mayor of New York, right? But he gives the key to the city to Diddy September of a year ago. 2 months later, Diddy's being sued by Cassie, and all of this is going down. So I do wonder. I know, girl, the wine promotion, she pretends to ride the bike to the store and put her wine on the shelf like they had it in stock and pretended to be like, oh my God. The thing about, look, JLo is a great dancer. I'll give you that. She did very well in the movie Selena. I didn't know of a JLo until I saw Selena. Okay. I'll give her flowers. Never won an Emmy, an Oscar, a Grammy, and not to say that, you need these awards to give you validation, right? But you would think that somebody who's been in the industry for this many years, right, and had to F her way around, if that makes sense, you'd get somewhere, right? Like, honestly, all for this award, all this validation, the likes. And I'm not making this up. She actually said this on her, there was a documentary, all right? And she didn't say it. It was Ben who said it, who now she's blaming Ben, right? Like suddenly Ben was the one with the idea of this documentary. Okay. All right. The girl sat there. You had Fat Joe in a Mr. Rogers sweater, okay, playing therapist for her. Y'all need it, the movie was trash. And it was supposed to be about her learning to love herself through all these men. Self-love and achieving. And it was a musical. All right. You had poor old what's her name, Monster Mom up there. She was telling her in the making of this movie, because they did the movie and then they did a documentary of the movie when they were making it. You had Monster Mom. What the hell is her name? Y'all put it in the chat. I forgot her name. The coffee hasn't hit. You had Monster Mom telling her, "Are you sure you really want to do this? Like, is this a good idea for you to put yourself out there like this?" People were telling her this is probably not a good idea. This is not a good project. And she took a hit. Jane Fonda, thank you. Jane Fonda was telling her, "Are you sure you want to do this?" It was a musical. This shit was a musical. It was. And she played and literally acted everything out. Everything was a dance piece. It was, I don't know what, she thought this was going to be like Purple Rain. Like she was going to walk out of there with an Oscar. No, it was not like Purple Rain. Nothing like that. It was trash. It really was. It was a musical. I don't recommend it. I saw it on Amazon and I took the hit for you guys so I can do a review on it. And she basically lied in this movie. She basically said that, after she left Ben, because Ben gave her the inspiration to find her self-love. All right. Ben did these emails when it was Bennifer, the first part, right? When she first got together and she had the pink little diamond engagement ring, Ben gave her the motivation to do this. Okay. Ben gave her the motivation. He was writing her emails, and in those emails, she read them so many years later after she had kids and, destroyed a couple marriages and whatnot. She read these emails and it inspired her to go back in the studio, because God knows that nobody's looking for the next JLo album, but this was going to be it. This was going to be it, right? So she starts doing her little musical projects. They're working in a heart factory and everybody's dancing. And anyways, it was a hot mess. I just gave you the short version of that, but it was a hot mess. Okay. This was supposed to be the thing that was supposed to make her. So then a lot of us that have been following JLo for years saw that, especially in a lot of the Latinos were dragging her on Twitter for a good reason. Okay. Because then she was doing this whole thing. I remember being a little girl and running around and with my hair like this, running around, going like this around the block. And the people were like, "Wait a minute. You went to Catholic school. What block are you which block were you running around? Were you running that block? That block? Which block?" She did the most, yo. It was so yes, people dragged her. She became the parody. She became like the clown. No, I mean, listen, and they had because she really acted that out. She said, "I remember," and she was going like this, and her hair was like all crazy. And the people, it was. Anyways, let me I need a hairbrush, y'all. Yes, I did. I'm just telling you how it was, okay? I'm not making this shit up. So people clowned her on TikTok for the longest time for it. And I don't blame them. Then she, it was her way of trying to sound relatable to people that she has far removed herself from. People started asking her, "When have you given to the block? When did you help the school that you went to when it closed down because of funding? When did you give to the block?" And then suddenly you have JLo's PR team trying to give to the block. Suddenly they're over here trying to give to causes, to different things. And then it's just like, oh yeah, she's a really nice lady. Yeah, okay. TikTok people, thank you for saying this, for saying Kyle Marissa Roth's name, had lost their channels for speaking on JLo. Okay. Forbes magazine or Forbes online wrote an article about this. This did happen. So there's a lot of videos that I was capturing a lot of this on. She could not take the criticism and people got really mad. Right. So then after the movie's release, which was released this year, 2 months later, we're hearing that there's a potential separation between her and Ben. So a lot of this is clouding the Diddy stuff that's happening, right? The investigation, everything that's happening, it's all clouding it. I just, listen, the reason I speak on this is because I think that JLo has been so far so complicit to a lot of things. And I have always felt that there was more to this shooting. There was more to this shooting, and Shyne has kept, and he hasn't really said everything. Other than just saying that Diddy was not a good person. That's it. But what about JLo? Because JLo was there. What about JLo? These people cover themselves. They're so they're just wanting to cover themselves. I mean, that's what they do. If JLo had gotten in trouble that night, actually gotten in trouble, I don't think we would be side-eyeing JLo a little bit different. Hell, you have people that a lot of the women in the industry went to jail too. You had Remy Ma, who else? Little Kim. People faced the music when they did stupid shit. But why hasn't JLo been held accountable for anything that she's done in terms of the protection of this man? She doesn't. Years after this, she went on that COVID fundraising situation. Hi, puppy. I love you. How you doing, mijo? Okay, puppy. And I can say it like that, girl, because I'm Mexican. All right. I'm repeating how she says it. Okay. Anyways, y'all got me on a tangent. I'm blaming the chat. I blame the chat because I'm not medicated. Okay. You guys got me on a tangent. She was in her late 20s, KL, when that is. And we'll read some articles on it, okay, to give you guys some context. This is all your fault. Chat, I'm blaming you for doing this shit to me, okay? Let's review this and finish this.
I had nothing to do with Sean Combs' personal life, no interaction. That level, everything was strictly on a professional level.
That's what he said. That's what he said. I had nothing to do other than a professional level situation. Okay, no. Let's go back. Let's go back.
I was an 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. Yes, I forgave, I moved on, but let us not pretend as if I was in Miami for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Well, I
and that
spent a birthday with him once.
I
saw a birthday cake.
went again to do a charity event for impoverished youth in London. So let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life and who I forgave and who I moved on, and for the better interest of Belize, because he was in a position at that time to give scholarships and to maybe invest. I would not deny attempting to bring the investment to Belize and to bring the contributions to education.
All right. So that is the question. I think that there's a moral issue here at hand. All right. On a serious note, the hair is fixed. All right. Let me get to the moral issue. I already did the JLo parody. I'm not doing it again. But let me ask you guys in the chat on some real honest thing. Okay. If you are Shyne and you're sitting in jail or in prison for 9 to 10 years for a crime that you know you didn't commit, okay? You did your time. You were deported, right? Would you reconnect with the person that essentially put you there and had you take the fall for it? That's the question. And then you make something very, he built himself up in Belize, right? He became a political leader in Belize. Would you take any type of support from the person that put you in prison or jail? Let me know what y'all think. Thank you, Monica. Shout out to Monica. No? Yes? No? Maybe so? Fuck no? This is where I personally have a problem with it, because although I don't want to shit on the man, but I also feel like, well, do y'all not see the even if he forgave him, right? Like Ingrid said right here, you can't get mad if he said he forgave him. That's right. Even if he forgave him though, Ingrid, just think of it this way, right? If he forgave him, I'm glad that he did. And maybe that's like, you make peace with yourself, right? That's what you have to do. You have to forgive people in order to make peace with yourself. But would you still take any handouts from somebody that willfully put you in jail for so many years? And the handouts are not necessarily for you, they are for the people that need them. It's a weird, what's the word, yo? Because I know there's a word for this, but it's a really weird situation to be in. I feel like that's what it is. You don't believe, Shyne? My thing is you still have a woman who has bullet fragments on her face. Maybe he got scared. And you know what? I would be scared. Hold up. Ingrid says, I think he might look at him with the side eye. Forgiveness is forgiveness. Yeah, like you could still side eye the person. I agree with you on that. But on a political level, it's an entanglement, rabbit. Maybe that. Thank you, Nadia, because I think it's a bit of an entanglement. And shout out to everybody that's like, because I know that everybody has differing opinions here, and that's why I love you guys, because I don't want us to agree with each other. I actually want us to argue with each other a bit in a nice way. And then when we're messy, we're messy. I love it, but I do want us to kind of make some sense out of this. What do you make of this? Yes, she's bit, way before News Nation even gave her a bigger platform. She was speaking out years before, and people were trying to silence her. You know what I mean? And we're going to look at Natania's story here in a minute. But we can't forget this piece. I'm sure Diddy and JLo paid PD off that night. In my opinion, he paid one of his buddies to take the hit. It feels like a deal, right? You said, if it was just to help the people of Belize, I might consider it. Okay, cool. Like, that's a different way, right? But you have to side eye all politicians, all of them, even the ones that say that they're in it for the right reasons. You just do, because I don't know, they're all crooked to a certain degree. They had to do something to get to where they're at, right? And that's how I see it. But that's just my opinion. Let's keep playing this, and I'm gonna take you guys to a couple articles to show you guys just how deep and dark this situation really was.
To Belize, but don't distort it as if he and I were bombale. This is someone that destroyed my life, but do I take any joy or any satisfaction with what he is going through? Absolutely not. I am different than maybe other people. No one needs to fail for me to succeed. No one needs to suffer for me.
In your at the height of your professional relationship, or thereafter through the reconciliation, when he was an instrumental part of promoting you through Revolt Media, were you aware of these freak off events, and were you aware of them? Did you have any participation in them?
Oh my God.
So I think this is a valid question. He says, were you aware of these freak offs event? He was 18 at the time, right? Some people don't consider he's an adult, right? But in my mind, you're still a child mentally when you're 18. To me, this is like Usher. To me, this is like Justin Bieber. These, they're very much in this age of like, they're going to do what they have to do to fit in. They're going to do what they have to do, especially you're offering a young, man who very much sounds like Biggie, right? On his tones vocally, he sounds like him. Very impressionable. It wouldn't surprise me if he saw something and doesn't want to speak on it, and why would he now at this point? Why would he? But I think it's amazing now that he's saying, well, yeah, I was a Diddy destroyed my life for like 9 or 10 years. That's a decade, almost a decade of his life. Yeah, 18, right? Because you're just in it to like you just want to be in it. You're seeing what Diddy has done, and Diddy was a lot older at this time, and so was JLo. JLo was not a child. JLo was not like 21, and she's getting to know. And this is like, no, stop the bullshit, stop the cap. For those that are fan stands of that woman, I'm sorry. I was one too at one point. I really was. And then I realized how much of a fake fraud and a phony she is and what she's done in this industry. Okay? Truly, wake up. Wake up. Uh-huh.
My goodness, Jules Vasquez. Jules Vasquez.
Were you aware of that?
Jules Vasquez.
Were you aware of the freak offs? Because
So I had nothing to do with Sean Combs' personal life, no interaction. That level, everything was strictly on a professional level.
Sorry, y'all, I muted myself. JLo was about, I think she was like 29 or 30 when she met Diddy. So no, she was not a child, y'all. She was not a child. She was 29. She was 28, 29, 30. So late 29s, 30s. So everybody that's aware, for those that are asking, well, maybe she was very young. No. She wasn't. She had already been married. Okay. She wanted to keep this music. Thank you for saying this. She wanted to keep this music career going. She really did. That's what had happened. That's what she wanted to do. Okay, let me get to this article right here. And then we're going to get into Natania Reuben's here, because I think Natania's story is also very important. All right. Yeah, JLo is like, I think, oh, hell, I know she's over the age of 50. Hold up. How old is JLo? She's 55. She's 55, y'all. So yeah, she was very well into her 29, 30s. She had been married, I think, at least twice at that point. Google says it's 55, y'all. So y'all can go fact check Google, but this is what Google's saying. So here we go. This is the most recent article in 2024, okay? But the shooting came back up again because of the lawsuit that Little Rod had, filed against Diddy. And in that lawsuit, it talks about this nightclub shooting, all right? So why the 1999 shooting where Diddy and Jennifer Lopez were arrested has new attention. Lord have mercy. Okay, stop showing me this damn ad. We have a lot of ads here. Top line Diddy, with Diddy Sean Combs in the spotlight after the FBI raids on his home, past allegations, including his involvement in the 1999 New York nightclub shooting, have sparked renewed interest in the music mogul, including allegations that Combs shot someone in the face during the incident with then girlfriend Jennifer Lopez nearby. Now, remember, there were mugs. They got into their car and they sped off. They ran some stoplights. That's what had happened that night. It was said that Jennifer was so scared. Yes, Cuff Daddy has destroyed a lot of lives. Which, by the way, Nancy Grace, did you come and watch the little people over here to get that Cuff Daddy? Because I know she didn't come up with that. You know that Nancy Grace watches a lot of us over here. Yeah, she does. She put Cuff Daddy on her thumbnail. Where did the Cuff Daddy come from? Y'all were in the chat. Was it you, Renee, that said it? Nancy Grace, we were y'all were named, you guys baptized Diddy Cuff Daddy for a new name. Somebody came up with it. I remember it was in the chat. Nancy Grace took that and put it on her thumbnail and called him Cuff Daddy. How original, Nancy. How original. No, I'm not joking. She did. She did do that. I know, it's like I saw it in my chat and then I started repeating it. And I know, was it Night Charm who was laughing at me, who said, you just said Cuff Daddy. I said, somebody said it in the chat. She did. It wasn't, somebody said it in the chat. We started calling him Cuff Daddy. Anyways, it was pretty rude. Because she watches a lot of us. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, yo. It'd be nice to get a little bit of credit over here. Whoever said it, shout out to the person who said it in my chat. I just repeated it, and we started calling him Cup Daddy. Anyways. So in December of 1999, Combs, Lopez's bodyguard, Anthony Wolf Jones, and a 21-year-old rapper, Shyne Barrow. Well, now Shyne says he was 18 in that video. This article saying that he was 21. Combs was his protege, were involved in a disagreement at a nightclub in Manhattan that ended up with gunfire that left 3 people injured. So Combs and Lopez and Jones left the club, led on a police chase throughout New York City that ended with police finding a stolen gun inside the vehicle. Now, Natania Reuben, one of the 3 people that were shot during the altercation, maintains Combs was the one who shot her that night and has renewed her accusations in recent days. Lopez and Combs were arrested and detained and initially charged for their involvement in the shooting, but the charges were quickly dropped against Lopez. Now, that's interesting how quickly they were dropped against her. Combs, Jones, and Barrow face charges related to gun possession. Prosecutors allege that Combs and Jones attempted to bribe the driver of the car that left the nightclub to tell the police the gun was his in exchange for $50,000. Now, $50,000. Doesn't he do that? Doesn't he tend to like bribe, like get rid of this, don't say nothing, yada yada yada? That's what he does. He's always been like that, right? I mean, don't we have this whole little enterprise situation happening where he tries to pay off people? This is not new. The underwear ad is killing you, girl. I'm not even getting paid for this, y'all. We are not watching the ad. Shout out to you. Yeah. And all went way very quickly with Diddy and JLo, right? Mia. Well, okay. Let's keep reading. So after a week's long trial, Combs and Jones were acquitted. But New York jury found Barrow guilty, Shyne, of 5 charges, including criminal possession of a weapon, first-degree assault, and reckless endangerment, though Shyne was acquitted of attempted murder. Now, Shyne was sentenced and served nearly 9 years for his charges, though no one was ever charged and found guilty of the shooting itself. Okay, so let's go to News Nation, all right, and figure out, y'all can see that interview. This was, she's done a couple other interviews, but this is what she did with just recently, 5 months ago? So it's not too old. And she talked about willing to have those bullet fragments removed. Okay, let's watch. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. And this is Brian Enton with News Nation on that interview.
Since our interview with Natania Reuben, and you remember we talked to her, she says that Diddy is the one who shot her at that club. But the supporters are now saying that Diddy didn't even want to take a plea deal in the 1999 club shooting because he was, quote, so sure of his innocence. They also said that information from someone who is claiming things that aren't true, who's looking for a payday. They said payday is not going to change that. Natania Reuben joins us once again now. Natania, we appreciate your time again. First of all, I want to know your reaction to these people now around Diddy who are coming out in support of him, saying that he was so sure of his innocence and that that's the reason he didn't take a plea deal in the case that you were involved in where you got shot.
So first and foremost, Brian, thank you for having me back on. And I give very little credibility to what they're saying because while everyone else is Monday morning quarterbacking, I am the survivor. And it is my assertion wholeheartedly that Mr. Combs was inappropriately charged originally. His charges should have mirrored that of Mr. Shyne Barrow. He should have been charged with attempted murder, reckless endangerment, criminal possession of a weapon, and firing that weapon in an open environment.
And you bring up Shyne. One of the questions that I've gotten several times since the last time we spoke to you is that people want to know whether you believe that Shyne was convicted of a crime he didn't commit because he is the one who ultimately...
Absolutely not. Shyne Barrow admitted on the Combat Jack podcast back in the days, rest in peace to Combat Jack, he admitted that he fired his gun and shot Julius Jones in the shoulder. Mr. Combs did not have accountability for what he did. I physically, who better to tell you what happened than the person who got shot smack dab in between my eyes?
Back then, Natania, do you feel like they had made up their mind about who they were going to blame for this before they even talked to you, or?
Listen, here's what I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. Respectability politics. He was a notable figure. He was a multimillionaire. He had popularity, fame, all of a perfect storm of you get away with it. We know the country we live in. Unfortunately, those who have the money can oftentimes get away with their crimes. Unfortunately, and those who don't have the same social ranking are overlooked. And that's what has happened. By the grace of God, God saw fit to keep me whole, keep my mind sane and functioning, and keep me alive for such a time as this. And make no mistake, the gravity of the danger and the peril that I face and that I'm exposed to for having my say now, for what was done to me 24 years ago, is not lost on me. But let me make clear beyond a shadow of a doubt, I am not now, nor have I ever been suicidal. I love life, and I'm grateful that God spared my life back on that fateful day on December 27th.
What do they do? What do they do all the time when you are speaking now? They try to make you look crazy. Isn't that what they did to Cassie? The creep squad, isn't that what they did to Cassie? They made her look like she was there for a payout. And then the CNN video hit, and then everybody was like, oh my God, it did happen. Oh no, it did. It really was true. It did happen. Yes, it was. Her story has never changed. She's been consistent. But people try to make her out to be like she wanted a payout, that she wanted this payout, right? That she was going to get this money. That's what they did. And this is what they've tried to do with this woman as well. And a lot of other victims as well. One thing I will say about Natania Reuben is that she has stood year after year after she has been harassed by Diddy's people, online, offline, whatever it may be. And she has said, listen, I know what happened to me that night. I survived it. By the grace of God, I survived this. I believe this woman. I from the time that she said what she said. But to me, it's like, Shyne, listen, Shyne. It's great that you're looking out for your people and everything. But at some point, you're going to have to speak truth to everything that happened that night. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It's a weird situation. In one hand, you have a man that, wrongfully was put, in my opinion, there, right? He served time. But at the same time, he was well aware of everything that happened, and then takes help from the devil himself for the people. Night Charm. I was waiting. I thought you were here earlier. I was waiting for you. Shout out to Night Charm. I was waiting for you because it's like, what do you make of it now? Now you want to say that Diddy ruined your life? What about this lady's life? Okay. Can you imagine healing from somebody shooting you in the face? You imagine the pain that goes with that? The bravery, the shock. People don't survive bullet wounds. 9 fragments on her face. This is just surprising. I don't get it. Like, oh my God.
99, I'm a living miracle.
Yeah, you are
And
clearly
so,
a very...
anything,
Sorry to
and
interrupt
I'm
you, but you
also
are
a
a very strong woman. I mean, that is very, very clear. And you have done your research, and you deserve to have your voice heard, which is one of the reasons.
And I think it's important for me to say I'm a healthy woman. I live a simple, quiet, risk-averse life. So if I should meet with an untimely demise, it would be worthy of deep investigation. I understand the peril of what I am exposing my life to. If
Yeah,
God
it's disturbing to hear you say that. I mean, but
to have my say, it's disturbing for me to think it and feel it. But I am healthy. I don't have any intentions of going anywhere. I'm grateful that God spared me, and I plan to live out my life to see my children's lives actualized and realized. Well, I don't want to play against semantics.
We appreciate you coming on again, Natania. I mean, I'm glad you were able to respond to this latest statement from people around Diddy, and we'll continue to give you a voice on this. So thank you, Natania.
It's dismissive to think that if someone files a lawsuit that they should be ridiculed.
Yeah.
If I didn't suffer, I'm willing to have a doctor remove a part of the 9mm bullet in my face so that they can use it as evidence if need be for this trial. And it may cost me my life.
You would be willing to do that now?
I'm willing to do it.
Oh my gosh.
So what do they have to say to that?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have 9 bullets. I'm sure I can spare one.
Okay. Well, we'll be in touch. We'll see how this moves forward. There's a lot of moving parts with Diddy right now. So, okay. Thank you, Natania.
Thanks so much for watching.
my
Go to
God.
joinnn.com.
I wish it would have been longer, and we're going to play the other parts. But honestly, come on. So people came after Natania trying to discredit her story. Okay, her everything that she went through. Hold up, Natania Reuben. Hold up, y'all. I'm gonna pull another one up here from an earlier situation. So when she was wearing the blue shirt, she was basically talking about the people that were coming at her. Okay, then the first interview that she did was when she was wearing this red shirt here. Okay, this red blouse, and she talked about the fact that she, you know, everything the part that JLo played in this. Why should, for those JLo fan stands out there, why should JLo be allowed to enjoy a career when she was, in my opinion, based on what's been put out there at this point, okay? In my opinion, it's just that. Why should she be allowed to enjoy a career and everything else that's been, you know, like I don't get it. While other people have suffered, why should she be, especially if she knows exactly what happened? Why should she be allowed to enjoy her career? This is why she is not a happy woman, right? You cannot possibly be happy if you're going through situations in your love life like this, parading them on Front Street the way that you are. There's no way. And you kind of have to wonder if you're doing some evil ass shit like this, or if you knew about this and didn't speak out, this stuff can come and haunt you later on in life, through your love life, through your money, through your family, through your kids.
She joins us now, sharing her story. Natania, thank you so much for being with us. I can't imagine what you've been through since 1999, and then all the emotions that must be coming up over the last couple of days. What was your reaction, Natania, when you saw these massive raids at
Hold up, y'all. I'm going to try to
Diddy's
speed
two
it up a
homes?
little bit more.
First and foremost, thank you for having me. It was very emotional. In short, it was extremely emotional because it was basically a mark 25 years, a quarter of a century since this occurred. And I've had to relive this over and over again, intermittently in that time. So when I saw it, it was very cathartic because I finally felt like justice would be done. Justice would be mine and belong to all of his victims.
Yeah, and you have said since really right after the shooting that it was P. Diddy who shot you. I mean, I think you even said it to the doctor that night, right?
She
I
said it
immediately. I literally watched them pull out the guns. I've had a clear point of view. I mean, for God's sake, I got shot in my nose.
This lady recounted the details. She talked about the comb. She talked about being a hairstylist. She gave so many details to that situation. She always stood on it, never changed her story. And people kept coming at her from Diddy's camp.
I was facing them directly. I watched everything occur and have described it, you know, vehemently to all parties involved. I think in our society, we have respectability politics. There are people who want to be adjacent to power or celebrity or money, and there's a hierarchy of respectability. Because his name was more notable, he was believed rather than a victim who gave a first-hand account. By the grace of God, I survived.
Yeah, and this was also a different time. I mean, things were very, very different in 1999. I mean, did you sense right from the beginning that no one believed you?
Well, I don't think that was on my mind. I think first and foremost, I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 3. At the time, I was a mother of 2. And just surviving and getting home to my children was of the utmost importance to me. Being whole and being able to mother them. That was, you know, primary on my list. I didn't have any reason to believe that to think that someone would not believe me. But as things unfolded, it was a very short period of time where I realized that's what in fact was happening.
This is just crazy, though. Why was she shot? She just happened to be there. She wasn't even part of the conflict. There was a conflict that broke out. She was just there. She just happened to attend this nightclub. And it wouldn't surprise me that, like, there's just so many things that, like, nothing surprises me when it comes to the story. But what's so interesting is that people have tried to rewrite the narrative of this. They try to say, well, it's a big conspiracy. Yo, no. And like, this is why I'm happy that Shyne has made himself into this persona. But at the same time, I cannot remove or take away the fact that this woman is still sitting there while everybody's making her look out to be crazy. Like, Shyne, speak up about this. Like, You did your job. But what about this lady? Speak up about this. That's what I'm saying. As a leader, as a political leader, like, I don't know. What would you guys do if you were Shyne? Let me know if you were Shyne, what would you do in the chat? Would you speak up? Would you be quiet? Would you just be like, you know what? I did my time. I'm good. Like almost 10 years. I'm not going to do anymore. What would you do? Let me know.
So as I mentioned, Diddy has denied being the one who pulled the trigger. But this is interesting, Natania. Rodney Jones, also known as Little Rod, is now suing Diddy for sexual harassment. That's something that's been in the headlines for the last couple of days. And there's a very interesting quote from his lawsuit that relates back to you that I want to read because it sort of ties all of this together. And it says, Jones claims in the lawsuit, Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shyne. He shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, AKA JLo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual.
She carried the gun, allegedly. That was the rumor for the longest time. And then here comes Little Rod's lawsuit that basically said it as well. What is this? He's worried about his family. Shout out to Devil Doll, my love. Thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to you. For all those supporting my channel, you can support the channel by hitting the like button, please, and thank you. He may not be able to speak legally. Maybe his lawyers are advising him not to. Maybe. You said, speak up. The truth will set you free and not keep you in hiding, sis Gordon. You said, nah, he just knows that he's not getting any more money from Diddy. So why now? He did spend time in the pokey. That could not have been fun. What would you, if you were Shyne, what would you do? Peg says, I keep quiet because I'm not sure if I get charged with perjury. And if he were to, well, shit. That's a good question too. Simply Nikki says he needs to talk to the feds to help this case get pushed through and like retry the situation. Ingrid says Shyne is probably scared. Nobody knows how far Diddy's reach is, even behind bars. Renee says it would be time to open up my mouth, talk. That Diddy is locked up. I think that's what you meant. Now that Diddy's been arrested, I would speak up. I kind of understand. Maybe he didn't speak up before. We don't know who he knows in Belize too. Hey Cog, how are you, love? Says, hey Rabbit and Mods, I would definitely tell him if I was him. All those secrets have to be itching to come out. We don't know who he knows in Belize, right? That's the other thing too. Who does he know in Belize? He can't be retried again because it would be double jeopardy, right? Like what would that's a good point. You said all over a fucking looking drinks. Puff. This was all, in my opinion, because, Cuff Daddy has a temper. That's what it was. That's what it was. And she carried the gun. Now, what did Cassie say in the lawsuit? She was made to carry guns for Diddy in her purse, right? As an intimidation tactic. We don't know what this relationship was like, honestly. You said I would speak, but be cautious. But he's a political leader in Belize. So I don't know how much caution he could take, right? You said I would keep quiet unless giving immunity. All right. He's a hothead. Absolutely. Does Shyne have family? Because I'd keep quiet. See, Vodka even says, listen, I keep quiet. Not for me, but for them. I say one thing and they could all end up suffering consequences. Nah. Okay. So you guys see, like, this is that piece that it's like, well, Shyne, I know Diddy ruined your life. And we'll rewatch that video again so you guys can see it because he said it. I'm not putting words in his mouth. However, I'm just questioning so much of this at this point. And when I did my JLo videos, and I've done a lot of them, okay? Here's another one. Some of you guys didn't watch, but if you did, let me know if you did in the chat. And not that there's anything wrong with this. If you want to do a sex tape, two consenting adults doing a sex tape, y'all do you, okay? Do what you do. But it was said, and this was something that Suge Knight put out there. Now, the reason why I know there's some truth to this is because Suge Knight quickly, expeditiously got a cease and desist lawsuit. The shit went into a lawsuit right away that quietly went away, right? There are few articles, and I was able to put those out there and package them up and show them to you guys, okay, where it talked about how there was a sex tape that was a Diddy and JLo sex tape. Now, JLo is not above the freaky stuff. Let me tell you why. Because her husband, Ohani, is it Ohani Noah? I forgot how you say that guy's name. But one of the husbands that she married, okay, I think it was the first husband that she married after she filmed Selena. They had a little tape as well themselves. And so this was stuff that they did, you know, that they're consenting to those. They go and do tapes, okay? That's what, I don't have a tape, all right? Y'all will never find a tape out there of me doing the deed, okay? But if you're into that, more power to you. Listen. So Suge came out. He came in the what is it? The Howard Stern show, and he talked about there being a tape. Hell, Reggie White talked about there's definitely a tape, definitely a sex tape. I played that before. Okay. She leaves Diddy and she gets threatened with this sex tape immediately. She has to quiet that shit down right away. When they ended this relationship, I honestly think that she purposely ended this relationship after this trial was over. She had to wait until this trial was over and people were convicted and sent away, right? She ends the relationship with Diddy. She does. They moved on. She got married. She did her thing. Mark Anthony, all this stuff kind of happened and everything, right? It would not surprise me if that's the case. It wouldn't surprise me. But that's what happened. They were still very cordial. For those that have said in the magazines, she's very scared of Diddy. She was trying to get away from him. No. They've been spotted together even after their breakup. With A-Rod, there's pictures of them together, partying it up. Hell, that there are, okay? They're out there. I'm not making that shit up. Y'all can see those. And then there was the COVID dance-a-thon that the celebrities did online. Diddy was doing the COVID thing to raise money, right? For the hospitals and the nurses and all the staff. And this is why I repeated what I said. She got on the video and she was calling Diddy Papi. Hey, Papi, how are you? And they start dancing and A-Rod's there. A-Rod is a fan of Bad Boy. A-Rod is a fan of Bad Boy. I'm not making that up, yo. Check out the videos that I've done. I'm not a historian either. I just know some of this stuff because I've been following it up for quite some time, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if conveniently being quiet, JLo has had to be quiet to, keep her career going, do what she has to do, but it's time to pay the piper, don't you think? I mean, it's time. It's time for the truth to be released, to be said, for the people to come out of where they came from. And there's so much more behind this. You know what I mean? It's not just Diddy. It can't just be Diddy. There's somebody behind Diddy. And then there's other people behind Diddy.
So now you have Little Rod in this new lawsuit saying that Diddy told him that he actually was responsible. I mean, what did you think when you read that?
Well, I was incensed for a number of reasons. First and foremost, for the past quarter of a century, he's vehemently denied that he was responsible, even though I knew wholeheartedly, and as so many others who were in the club that night, we all knew he was responsible. A lot of people were afraid for their safety, justifiably so. I mean, the history that has occurred in the last 25 years proves that they were justified in being afraid, but I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid because I still I have 9 bullet fragments remaining in my face. So when I saw that count 128, that's actually count 128 of the lawsuit. When I saw that on a podcast that was analyzing all of the counts, I knew I had to speak. I had no intention of going viral. I was just getting it out of me. I have a mantra, having my say. There was a time a few years ago where I had a talk radio show called Having My Say. And that's very important to me. I believe everyone is entitled to have their say. Far too often we don't hear people or listen. And so I just wanted to get it out of me because it was like an audible, deep breath that I needed to take. And I made the TikTok video, not expecting it to go viral. Once I picked up my daughter, came back home, and she's like, and I literally told her, I'm like, well, you're probably going to see it tomorrow. I made a video on TikTok. Maybe 100 people will see it. By the time we got home, she said, Mommy, it was 70,000 people.
Wow.
I could not believe it. But it was time. It was time for me to speak. I'd stayed quiet for 25 years, and it was my time to speak.
Yeah, we don't know yet what's going to happen with the P. Diddy situation. Obviously, again, he hasn't been arrested. There's clearly a very
And this was in March. So clearly here we are, March, September. It took them this long to figure out what they were going to, do next.
big federal investigation happening now. But I'm thinking back to other cases, R. Kelly, Jeffrey Epstein. When they started to dig, all sorts of stuff came to the surface. They reopened old investigations. Would you like to see the investigation involving you getting shot at that club be reopened?
Absolutely.
Should it be reopened? What do y'all think? I think it needs to be reopened. I think that people need to be called to the carpet. It needs to be reopened. The people need to know what is going on. What do you guys think? Should it be reopened? Let me know. You said JLo should have stuck to the acting. Yeah, like she should have stuck to the acting. Should it be reopened? Absolutely. What is that going to mean for Shyne, though? What is that going to mean for the people? I guess that's my question. Should this case be reopened? It should. We need transparency. Okay. Yes, she did. All right, y'all are saying yes. Should it be I think it needs to be. Absolutely. Reopen. Thank you. You said, I think the feds were building their case for years as they wanted to present an ironclad case. All right. Y'all said it should be reopened. Let me know. 100% it should be reopened. Yes, please, Vic. Thank you guys for hitting that like button. Please and thank you. Shout out to you guys for being in the chat. It should be reopened. I agree. Jay says, yeah, it should be open. Absolutely. You said, how can they expect him to come back for court if they deported him? That's a great question. Katie, that's a great question. They deported him. How do they expect him to come back? You said it needs to be reopened and everybody who covered up needs to be held accountable. Absolutely. Reopen if they have contingencies are in place for safety. Okay. All right. But keep that in mind. Some of you guys that have said, you said Zoom, they have court in Zoom. Listen, but some of you guys that have said it should be reopened are also saying that if you were Shyne, you wouldn't speak up. So how's that going to work? Listen, I feel like Natania and those that have been affected by this need to receive a level of justice. There needs to be more transparency with this, period. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. The irony is there was a grand jury. We all had to go and speak at the grand jury. JLo testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened because if that is in fact the case, she carried the gun in.
Y'all hear that? She testified in the grand jury. Let me go back a little bit. Look, she said it right there. She testified at the grand jury. JLo did.
We all had to go and speak at the grand jury. JLo testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened because if that is in fact the case, she carried the gun in and she lied to the grand jury. It needs to be reopened. My shooting, ironically, the night I went into the club, I had a comb in my pocketbook called a rat tail comb. People in the beauty industry or people that use that type of comb would be all too familiar. It's just a comb. It can't do anything to harm anyone. And I had the very security officer who lied during the trial, Sharice, I forget her last name, but she literally took it from me and kind of pushed me like, you can't take this in. This is a weapon to let other people in with guns. If someone had combed me 24 years ago, I'd be fine. You wouldn't even know my name. But having been shot by someone that was allowed to come into
crazy
the gun when I couldn't bring in a comb.
She couldn't go in there to the club with the comb, but the guy with the gun came in there and then there was a shooting. How's that work? Y'all see that? She's saying that they checked her. This is how well this woman remembers that night. Okay. She couldn't go in there with a comb. All right. Because she's a stylist. And the man who had the gun came in there. Hi, Sean. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Sean in the chat. You guys dropped some hearts for Sean and some flames. Thank you, Sean, for being here. But that's a good point. Make that make sense, right? Security, you can't go in there. And JLo was carrying the gun, allegedly based on what Natania said 5 months ago. And she's been saying this for a long, long time. She's walking in there with a comb, but the guy, she's not in there with it. She can't take that in, but he can walk in there with the gun. How's that work? Apparently not, Gordon, because they're celebrities. They're probably coming through the back. And then she lied at the grand jury. This woman made a career off of this. She knew she couldn't speak out. It was convenient to her. And for those that are saying, well, she was very young, girl, she was in her 30s. Okay. She'd already been married, I think, twice by then. Stop it.
I would absolutely unequivocally like the case reopened. It needs to be reopened. And the saddest part for me is, had people taken what I said more seriously and listened more intently, 24 years worth of people probably would not have had to suffer.
Yeah, and I ask you this respectfully, just because I think people at home might be wondering, and I've never been shot. I can't imagine what that's like. But you know, in the chaos of that moment, and it's a club, and there's people all around. Like, how can you be sure that it was actually P. Diddy?
Because I watched I was standing by the front door. I watched the entire thing out. I had no reason to believe that it would escalate to a shooting. It was just male machismo and bravado at first. A lot of pushing and shoving, raised voices, hands. But then I saw them reach in their waist and draw from their hip. And I knew.
You see somebody reach their waist, oh, you know what's going to happen. You go down, go the other way. That's what happens. But it's crazy to me. They let them in with the guns, but she couldn't bring her comb. Okay.
I instantly turned to my friends and told them, be careful, watch out. And when I turned back, I know, and I've said over and over, I've heard the voice of God, said, you are about to be calm down. And as I said, no, I looked straight forward ahead and I watched the muzzle flash from both of their guns and I felt the impact to my face instantly.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So for those that are coming in late, all right. And Junebug, thank you so much for the $10. Said thank you, Rabbit, for keeping the conversation going. Shout out to you, love. Thank you. Thank you. For those that are coming in late, I just wanted to drop this again. I played it over. So Shyne finally decides to speak up. And some of you guys didn't really know the story. So you kind of followed me through this as I was explaining why this is important. I'm also going to play the video that I have of JLo. Hi, puppy. How are you? How are you? You know, he's such a bad boy fan and whatnot. I'm gonna find it here and I'm gonna show you guys that this connection that they've had for quite some time. It's been years of this that they have had an ongoing thing. It's been very convenient for JLo not to say anything, even now. I think it's time for her to speak up. And for those that are out here, well, she's going through a divorce. Who the fuck cares? Okay, I don't care. I don't care that she's going through a divorce. I'm sorry. All right. She's been through what? 4? This is her 4th, 5th one at this. I don't know. I lost count. Okay. This is serious. All right. I don't care that she's going through a divorce. I really don't. Okay. A lot of this is a PR stunt. She's been spotted together with Ben and they're making out. I don't give a shit. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't care. All right. I said what I said. I don't care. People get divorced all the time. She's rich. She'll be fine. She'll be fine. Okay. She'll meet another guy and then get with another guy. That's what she does. I
was a 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me. And he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. Yes, I forgave. I moved on. But let us not pretend as if I was in Miami for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Well, I
and that
spent a birthday with him once.
I
saw a birthday
I
cake.
went again to do a charity event for impoverished youth in London. So let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life.
Someone who destroyed my life. Let me show you the video, y'all. I found it. So this is a video that I did 4 months ago. Okay. And back then I found an article because this is how JLo's PR was trying to switch the narrative. Okay. Jennifer Lopez is horrified by disturbing accusations against ex Sean Diddy Combs. She doesn't want to be associated. That's what the mix was. These articles were coming out that were saying this, and you know me, I will pull and I'll start looking into it. I'm like, well, where's this coming from? Who's putting this shit out there? What's going on?
Gave an exclusive to
Look.
OK Magazine, and they basically said JLo is horrified by all of the accusations a source recently spilled to a news publication more
Hold up, Rabbit gotta hurry up. She talks too slow. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
than a week after Los Angeles and Miami's homes were raided by federal Homeland Security agents. This is what this source told OK Magazine. She and Diddy had talked about marriage at one point, but she left him for a reason. Now people want to know why and what she saw. The insider confessed, claiming Lopez gets the shudders every time she's forced to think about their relationship. I swear the media tries to paint a situation here when it comes to JLo and Diddy. In Easter of 2024 years ago, there is a video of Diddy and JLo having a bit of a reunion.
4 years ago. Look at how horrified she is. Hold up. Look at how traumatized she is, y'all. Hold up, hold up, hold up.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, mommy.
How you doing, mommy?
I'm good. We're great.
So Diddy was actually doing a bunch of dance-a-thons on IG.
That's from that. Dance-a-thons on IG. I'm great. How are you, Poppy? I'm good. All right, mommy. Here we go.
To raise money for healthcare workers during COVID. A matter of fact, Revolt reported on it. Well, JLo joined the IG Live with A-Rod. Let's watch.
Check it out. Can I rock with you to something? I want to dedicate a song to you. Check it out.
Which one?
Nah, you gotta just get ready. You good?
Look at that beard.
You like the beard? You like?
You know I like that.
She says, look at that beard. And he's like, you like that? You know I like that. They're about to dance to Elvis Crespo, which is definitely copywritten. So we're going to skip over to some of this. But please note, they're doing nothing but dancing in this video.
There you go.
Here they go. Let me ask you guys, does that look like JLo is horrified by Diddy here in 2020? Just out of curiosity.
She looks very horrified. Y'all see that? 2020. Dude, she looks very horrified, y'all. She looks scared.
And here's A-Rod. So of course I'm muting it for copyright purposes.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hi.
A-Rod, what's going on? Play up. Cheers, my brother. Cheers, my brother. Cheers, Presidente, to life, to love, to the healthcare workers. You know,
Everybody on the front lines right now. It's crazy out there.
So this was 2020 around COVID time. For those that don't know or don't remember, celebrities, a lot of people were indoors. Myself, everybody was indoors, right? Celebrities included. And so what Diddy was doing, he was doing a lot of IG lives. A lot of celebrities were doing IG lives to have conversations with other celebrities. And I think a lot of us were watching some of this because it was COVID 2020. And some of us were trying to get, I guess, used to that new reality at that time.
everybody, how's the family? How's everybody doing? Everyone's doing really, really good.
We had a beautiful Easter here already. We had a little Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
And the kids are running around and jumping in the pool, and just couldn't ask for anything more.
Well, it's a beautiful thing. I appreciate y'all giving us your time. I want you to just say something to the healthcare workers.
Look at his face, you guys. Look how fucked up he looks in the face. Vegas, that's a great question. Did the hospital workers get the money? I wonder which hospitals did the money go to? Because they did raise, and I found articles that supported that they were raising the money, but I don't know what hospitals went to. Look at how fucked up his face looks, though. That's Rabbit's twin. Thank you, Heidi. But look at how fucked up the face looks. You see that? Oh my God. Anyways, let me keep playing this, y'all.
Before, I let y'all get back to your Easter. And you know, because your voice is a real source of inspiration, both of you guys.
Yeah, go ahead, baby. No, you go first. The queen first. Go ahead, baby.
Yeah,
for me, it's just about, their dedication and commitment. Our whole life is about being committed to something, about having drive, about inspiring other people, and I can't think of anybody right now who's doing that better than the healthcare workers, who are literally inspiring everybody to just think bigger and to put yourself on the line for somebody else is the ultimate sacrifice, right? And it's just so inspiring to me, and it's so
a
beautiful
up.
thing, and it's almost unimaginable what they're doing, with their lives. But it's such a great and beautiful thing. It's something that's hard to explain. I'm having trouble finding the words.
It's like heroic. The courage.
Yes.
The courage is like something that I have to ask myself, like, would I, because I got a family, I'm a single father, sick.
Right.
And there's so many healthcare workers that are going and risking their lives, not seeing their family, not being able to bring it back in. They haven't been tested. And so it's like sending them out there to detonate a bomb without without a bomb.
We don't know protection.
Lord have mercy. Y'all see that? I'm like, hurry the hell up. It's the word salad for me. Tell her to give a speech and see what happens. Thank you, Vic. Shout out to Vic. Shout out to my mods. Shout out to my beautiful, wonderful mods, y'all.
No protection. And especially from where we from, the Bronx and Harlem and the inner city communities. That's why we're donating to make sure that it goes to the inner city communities. And I'm just so happy that you yes.
That's the people who are working in those places right now. That's where they're going home to at night. When they can, because they actually can right now. What did you want to say, Ricky?
Well, I just want to say, look, the three of us all come from New York, right? And we come from the bottom. And these people, they are the real heroes. Sometimes we have it twisted where they say, well, we're the heroes, athletes and entertainers. They're the heroes.
When did we ever see Aaron or any of the athletes or celebrities as heroes when it came to COVID? I saw them as cowards, but that's just me.
In the front line, protecting us, doing God's work, really.
Yeah.
You're over there in the little mansions. When did we ever see this? I want to know. I don't know.
And just so thankful and appreciative. And that's why, he and us and what we're trying to do with everything, it's really just use our platform to be able to honor them because it's our debt to them. We owe it to them. This is not something that we should be celebrated for. Can we make a recommendation?
Puffy, you have to know this. You have to know this because I don't think you know this. This guy right here is your biggest fan from the bad boy era.
This guy right here, who I'm fucking, is your biggest fan. But I was also with you too. Like, oh, Lord have mercy. See, now y'all got me getting a little spicy now. This guy right here who I'm sleeping with is your biggest fan, but I was sleeping with you. This guy right here. Oh man, this guy right here is your biggest fan. Craig is like, I'm just getting to my office. Like, what's with the inappropriate stuff happening? This is why I lose subscribers, because I cuss every once in a while. Yeah, thank you. Tell him. This guy right here, he's your fan, but you're the guy that I was holding the gun for. Oh my God. Let me hit play on this. Cochina. Tell me, said JLo la cochina. Girl, I would be dead. You say it sounds like she's reading from a script? All right. Let me stop.
You and Mace are his hero.
Remember, she doesn't call him Diddy. She calls him Puffy. She will forever call him Puffy because that's how close they are. Mm-hmm. Even though some people would like to say that's how close they were. No, that's how close they are.
Okay? It's like every party we do, anything we do is like, Go down, Buffy and Mace. Go down, Buffy and Mace. So you're gonna have to do one of those joints.
Yeah. Okay, so which song you want to hear, A-Rod?
More Money, More Problems.
I mean,
Anything with Mace in it. Anything with
give
Mace
me
in
your
it.
top two. Mace, More Money,
And
More
you.
Problems.
We gonna go Been Around the World remix. You know, yeah. That's only true. I appreciate the love, A-Rod. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
I mean, if anything, this just shows you that they get along, they've been close. I don't see this being a situation where JLo is feeling some type of way about Diddy in 2020. If anything, it just shows that, I mean, his kids are in the background, y'all. They're all in the background, you know?
He leaves the dancing to me.
Okay, all right. That's right.
I mean, listen, JLo doesn't seem to have the shutters here. She seems very cool with Diddy in this video. So this is why I kind of have to question, like, some of the narrative that was put earlier of, like, how horrified JLo was with these raids, these city raids. And that she shuddered having to think about her relationship with Diddy, that it made her shudder. This was the narrative that was put out there shortly after these Diddy raids. You do kind of have to wonder about that because she's been pretty amicable and, you know, she's hung out with Diddy even after everything's been put out. It does kind of make you wonder her proximity to Cassie when all of this abuse was happening to Cassie.
Yep.
It makes you wonder if she knew about it, if she stayed quiet about it, what role she played in it, or if it was just too hidden for JLo to pick it up. It does make you wonder.
All right. So shut up, Rabbit. That's what I said. That video was 4 months old. So yeah. What do y'all think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you guys think? 4 months old. Did that age pretty well? Let me know what you guys think in the chat. All right, guys. I want to thank you guys for being here. See, I'm a bit of a, putting the videos together and aligning all these receipts for you guys to show you. Listen, I'm glad that Shyne is saying that Diddy destroyed his life now that Diddy's been behind bars. But I do have to wonder, and I have to probe the question to you guys. What do you make of it? Because it sounds like Diddy was giving him money, making investments to Shyne for the people of Belize. Okay? Is that good money? Dirty money? What kind of a money? What do you make of that? And Shyne is a politician. And what do you make of Natania Reuben? What happens now? Do we just move on and see where we go from here? I'm going to leave you with those questions. Shout out to you guys in the chat. I'll link the video that I played in the description box. Like I said, check out my playlist on exposing the industry. I have a whole playlist on that where I really look into some of these stories. Specifically, the one that I'm referencing right now is over here on cover-ups. And I look at everything that's been put out there, especially like in the 90s or in the 80s and stuff like that. I have 152 videos there. You're going to find different things.
Hi, everybody. Ooh, I hope.
Sorry, y'all. A lot of videos on that. And a lot of those videos have gotten a lot of views because people have asked and I've shown receipts and everything. All right. I will see you guys on the next one because I got to go tend to baby bunny. But shout out to you guys. Thank you so much for hitting the like button. All right. Bye, guys. Shout out to everybody except for JLo, Diddy, and anybody else who's in that group. All right. Bye, guys.